If you're still working past 60, are you doing it for security or fear? Most people think working longer is always the safer bet, but the real cost of those extra years doesn't show up on a bank statement. It shows up in the mirrors, the missed birthdays, and the quiet moments of exhaustion. Many retirees say the same sentence years later: "I should have retired sooner." In this video, we're going to look at why those extra working years often add less money than you expected, what staying in the workforce quietly takes away that can never be replaced, and how to know when enough is actually enough. Staying too long can actually reduce your lifetime wealth and your health. It sounds counterintuitive, but by the end of this, you'll see why the math of retirement planning isn't just about the numbers. Most of us have heard the standard excuses: "I'm not ready yet. Just one more year to build the cushion." What if something goes wrong with the market? These feel like logical, rational concerns. But if we dig deeper, the real drivers are often buried in the subconscious. It's a fear of uncertainty. It's an identity tied so tightly to productivity and professional success that without a job title, we feel invisible. We crave the social validation of still being useful and active in a society that worships the grind. Most people aren't working past 60 for the need of money. They are working for emotional safety. They use the office as a shield against the unknown. We need to acknowledge that this isn't a financial failure, but a psychological trap that keeps us running on a treadmill long after we've reached the finish line. The hidden financial costs of working longer are rarely discussed in traditional retirement planning. You might think earning another $100,000 will drastically change your lifestyle, but taxes eat more than you expect. When you work past 65, your earned income can push you into much higher tax brackets, effectively making you work for 50 cents on the dollar after federal, state, and payroll taxes are settled. More importantly, you are missing your best Roth conversion windows. Those early 60s are often your lowest tax years before required minimum distributions kick in at age 73 or 75. By working, you lose the chance to move money into tax-free accounts at a discount. Furthermore, Social Security optimization is often lost. While some believe delaying until 70 is always best, for many, the break-even age is so late in life that they never actually see the benefit of the years they sacrificed. Then there is the silent predator: Medicare and IRMAA costs. Higher income from working past 60 can trigger massive surcharges on your Medicare premiums. These are hidden taxes that raise your healthcare costs silently, eating away at the very paycheck you're staying for. Many people work 2 to 5 extra years and net far less than they ever imagined once you subtract the taxes, the lost benefits, and the increased premiums. You aren't just giving up your time. You are often giving it up for a fraction of your younger self's hourly rate. This financial surprise is the first wake-up call that staying employed isn't the wealth builder it used to be, but the money isn't the most expensive thing you're losing. Health costs compound quietly. Continued work in a high-stress environment affects your chronic stress levels, your sleep quality, and your cardiovascular health. The human body is resilient, but the toll of the 9-to-5 grind changes after 60. Contrast this with the benefits of early retirement: lower cortisol markers, better mental clarity, and more consistent physical activity. Health decline isn't a linear slope. It often drops suddenly and without warning. You don't gradually become unable to travel. You wake up one day and realize the window is closed. By working those extra years, you are gambling with your most energetic remaining seasons. You are trading the years where you can still hike, travel, and play for years where you might only be able to sit and remember. This leads us to the opportunity cost of time. The early 60s are a unique, golden window in the human lifespan. You still have the physical capability and the energy for travel and adventure, but you also have the wisdom to appreciate it. This is the prime time for family connection, getting to know your grandkids while you can still keep up with them, or spending quality time with aging parents while they are still here. Think about the difference between retiring at 62 versus 68. Those 6 years represent a massive percentage of your remaining active life. These years cannot be postponed and reclaimed later. You cannot save up your 62-year-old knees to use them when you are 75. Once that time passes, the experiences you could have had are gone forever. Regret patterns from real retirees tell a very consistent story. Data shows that nearly half of retirees wish they had retired earlier. When they look back, they don't regret missing out on a slightly higher pension or a bigger 401k balance. They regret the lost time, the lost health, and the lost freedom. The common realization is always the same. I was financially fine, I just didn't know it. They spent years worrying about a what-if scenario that never happened, sacrificing the what-is reality of their health and family. This emotional punch is the hardest part for those still working. They are living in a state of fear-based preparation for a future that isn't guaranteed, while the present slips through their fingers. We must also confront the psychological traps that keep people stuck. The one more year syndrome is a powerful drug. It feels like you're being responsible, but it's often just a delay tactic to avoid the identity crisis of retirement. Your job title has likely been your identity for 4 decades. Giving that up feels like a small death. This success conditioning, the belief that we must always be pushing and never stopping, is hard to break. Many people believe rest must be earned through exhaustion rather than being planned as a stage of life. These traps feel rational in the moment, but they are quietly stealing the best years you have left. They are based on a worldview where your value is tied to your output, not your existence. Myths need to be broken if you want to find financial freedom. The first myth is that more savings always lead to a better retirement. In reality, once you hit your enough number, every extra dollar has diminishing returns on your happiness. Another myth is that health and happiness follow straight lines. They don't. Biology is unpredictable. Traditional retirement planning often ignores biology, focusing only on the math, while forgetting that the person using the money is aging. Delaying retirement doesn't always increase your safety. In fact, it can decrease your safety by leaving you with less time to adapt to retirement while you are still healthy and flexible. The goal isn't to maximize your bank account. The goal is to have enough for your needs. The better retirement equation is a framework that aligns money, health, and purpose. It's about optimizing for the longevity of your enjoyment, not just the longevity of your portfolio. This means focusing on emotional readiness and intentional sustainability. It's not a reckless exit, it's an intentional transition. A smarter, calmer way to retire is to recognize that you are trading a finite resource, time, for an infinite resource, money. You can always find ways to make a little extra cash later if you really need to, but you can never, under any circumstances, buy back your 64th year. So how do you take practical action? First, assess your health timeline, not just your finances. Look at your family history and your current physical state. Second, calculate your personal version of financial enough. Don't use a generic rule of thumb, look at your actual spending. Third, identify meaningful early retirement activities. What will you do on Tuesday morning at 10 a.m.? If you don't have an answer, you'll stay at work out of boredom. Fourth, use smart tax, withdrawal, and timing strategies to maximize what you already have. Finally, test retirement. Take a mini break or try a phased exit to see how it feels. The final truth is simple but heavy. You can earn more money later through consulting, part-time work, or hobbies. You can never buy back your 60s. Retirement is a life decision, not just a financial one. It is an act of courage to stop when the world tells you to keep going. When you look back on your life from the age of 90, will you wish you had worked longer to see a slightly higher number on a screen? Or will you wish you had lived sooner? Don't let the fear of not enough rob you of the plenty you already have. Watch your health, value your time, and remember that the best time to start living your life was yesterday. The second best time is today. If you're still working past 60, ask yourself one last time. Are you working for your future or are you just afraid of it?